welcome to LICD lecture 33C. We have already discussed in the last two videos the voltage control oscillator and the Smith trigger using 555 timer in unstable mode. And today we are going to concentrate on the position modulation. So anyone of you know what is a pulse position modulation technique? Or else I will describe it, no problem. I'll give you 5 seconds to respond. Anyone? You have heard of pulse width modulation. What is pulse position modulation? Okay. Okay, no problem. I will help you to recollect the same concept. Okay. So this is what do you mean by pulse position modulation? In a pulse position modulation, the amplitude and the width of the output pulse are kept constant, while the position of the each output pulse with the reference to the position of the reference pulse is changed according to the instantaneous value of the analog modulating signal. Okay, I don't know how much you all have understood this, but I will explain it to you with the LT-Spice simulation in very short duration. Okay, so this is my my symbolic representation of my circuit. I have used the 555 timer symbol, a pinout, basically pinout. So we are what is the difference over here? Nothing much. We have just applied this is same as your stable multivibrator, no difference at all. Only difference is we have applied a low frequency modulating signal to pin number 5. We normally connect pin number 5 to the ground via a 0.01 microfarad capacitor. In this case, we have applied a modulating signal to it. Okay, so that's the only difference. Fine. Now first, let me show you the simulation and run it, and then I'll come back to the circuit explanation. I'll explain it to you from here. Okay, so the beauty of in this subject is everything, all the circuits using op-amp, everything we can simulate it, even using 555 timer. And each and every application I have done that only. I have started with the theory part, and then I've gone to the LT-Spice simulation and verification of the result. So that is very helpful. So this is my circuit. As you can see, it's a normal stable multivibrator. In addition to, we have applied a modulating signal at pin number 5. This CV stands for control voltage. Okay. Okay. Now let me observe the waveforms, various waveforms. Let me simulate it. Okay. Let me close this window. Let me simulate it again. I'll observe the output first. Okay, there are a lot of output pulses. The modulating signal is a triangular wave in this case, and these are my I think that will be difficult to view in one waveform. That is why I am separating it out. Let me see what color I have used in the output waveform. Okay, blue, green, red. Okay, fine. I have to use here green color. And here I will use the red color. Okay, fine. Now, what do you understand from this diagram? You just explain me. Any one of you? Anyone? You have a modulating signal, which is a triangular wave, and this triangular wave, I'll explain now. This triangular wave, the initial pulse, it's going maximum value is 4 and minimum is 2 volts. Okay, so that's my modulating signal. So here you can say maximum value is 4 and the minimum is 2. Okay, fine. This V of C is my capacitor voltage. Okay, the voltage across this capacitor C1. And this is my output. So what do you understand from the output? Anyone? Hello? Anyone, please respond so that I can. What do you observe uniquely? Just a unique observation. Can I say that the upper value? What I mean to say is this: the capacitor voltage, the maximum value it can reach is same as the amplitude of the. It is following the magnitude of the amplitude. The amplitude of the modulating signal. Can I say that? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as you can see, as if it is hanging around, the capacitor voltage is tied to or is glued to the modulating signal. As the modulating signal is decreasing in amplitude, the capacitor voltage, the charging part, the highest charging voltage is also changing. Again, when it is increasing, again the capacitor voltage is increasing in amplitude, and vice versa. Not only the capacitor voltage is the highest peak is increasing or decreasing, even the lower peak is getting changed. So as you can see, as the modulating signal is higher amplitude, the width, the peak to peak value of the capacitor voltage is more, and as it is reducing, the capacitor peak to peak voltage is also reducing. Okay, and we know that whenever the capacitor is charging, my output is high, and whenever the capacitor is discharging, my output is low. You remember, here we have not applied any external input voltage, but we are applying a modulating. So still the circuit is behaving as in a unstable mode only. Fine, we are modulating the signal. We are getting an output pulse position modulation. Okay, now let us try to understand what does this waveform mean. Okay, I have already drawn the counterpart over here, and this is correct. This is not wrong. Earlier in the Smith trigger, it was slightly incorrect, but these waveforms are absolutely correct. Okay, as you can see, whenever the capacitor takes lesser time to discharge, the pulse width here the positive pulse width is more, as you can see, and here the negative. I mean the positive in the sense +5, and here it is low. So here the on time and off time is also changing, as you can see. Okay, now at the time period is also changing every time, the time period of the pulse. So that means I can say that the output frequency is keeping on changing over here. Okay, now let me go back to the functional block diagram and let me explain you this quickly, because we have gone to extra time. Okay, okay, I hope that this concept of pulse position modulation, the definition is clear. Now in 555 timer, when we use this, very carefully listen. In the 555 timer, in the unstable mode implementing PPM, that is pulse position modulation, the position of each pulse changes. Okay, so as you can see over here, the position of the each pulse changes. So here it was here, next time it is here. Now next time it is becoming lesser. Next time it is becoming. That means the T on time is changing. Anyone, everyone agreeing? The T on time is changing. Are you all following this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Fine, good. So your T on time is changing. Fine. So both, that means what? Both the, if my T on time changes, what is my total T? Total T is T on plus T off. Even if the T off doesn't change, here if you look carefully, okay, what happened over here? Okay, yeah. If you look carefully, if you look very carefully at the output waveforms, if my T is my T off time changing at all? T off, whenever the capacitor is discharging, is that time changing, or is it same? Is the width of the T off is same? Notice carefully. Is it same or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, it is same. So what is changing? Only T on is changing. Correct. That means what? Can I say? Can I say my duty cycle is changing? So what is duty cycle? T on upon capital T. And what is capital T? T on plus T off. So even if my T off time is fixed, my T on time is changing. And if my T on time is changing, my pulse position changes. Okay, the on time position changes, as you can see clearly over here. Only the on time is changing. So that means what? At every instant of time, only T on is changing, hence T is changing, capital T is changing. That means what? Frequency is changing. Okay, so that is what the definition, whatever what the concept is over here. The position of the each pulse changes because both the width and the period of the output pulse will vary with the modulating signal, okay, which is triangular in nature. So as you can see over here, if the modulating signal is decreasing in amplitude, my T on time is decreasing. If it is increasing, my T on time is increasing. Again, when it is decreasing, my T on time is decreasing. Okay, so T on time decreasing means what? My pulse position changes as per the instantaneous value of the modulating signal. That is what is called as a pulse position modulation. Now let's quickly see the working. So a modulating signal is applied to pin number 5. So again the same funda. So if something is applied to pin number 5 was already at 3.33 volts. So what this modulating signal will do? Modulating signal will override this value. Okay. So what is the modulating signal now? Modulating signal is going from 4 volt to 2 volt. Okay, as you can see in the output, the modulating signal is going from 4 volt to 2 volts. That means what? At pin number 5 will go from 4 volt to 2 volt. Are you following this? Hello? Hello? Yeah, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so accordingly, my pin number 5 is getting affected. So at pin number 5, I have a modulating signal. Similarly, my this pin, that is 1.66 volt wala, the positive pin going to the positive of comparator B will also definitely get affected, as we have seen in the voltage control oscillator. Like if the control voltage here, this is like a control voltage only. Na? There it was DC, here it is AC. So same concept, same funda. The control voltage is constantly changing. There we were changing in the DC value. Remember, 4 volt, 2 volt, and 3 volt. Here it is continuously changing. So obviously, if the modulating signal is continuously changing, the capacitor will continuously change the charging instant of time. Okay, the capacitor voltage will accordingly the upper value, that is the charging phase, the maximum charging voltage, that will keep on changing as per the modulating signal. So that is what is exactly happening here. So as the modulating signal varies in the magnitude from 4 volt to 2 volt, the comparator state A will change. Actually, B also will change slightly, leading to the change in the state, leading to the change in the high and low output pulse width. Okay, basically morely in the high pulse. So accordingly, the capacitor voltage will charge and discharge. So as you can see over here, the capacitor voltage will accordingly charge and discharge. So as again I'm repeating, so if my modulating signal is decreasing, two things are happening. My T on time is changing and my capacitor voltage peak to peak value is also reducing. And once my modulating signal is increasing, my peak to peak value of my capacitor voltage is also changing, obviously. And yeah, the T on time is also changing, but the T of time remains the same. Can anyone answer why the T on time is same? T of time is same, or the T of charging phase is same? Anyone? No one? Hello? Why I want to know, I wish to know that why the off time, the discharging period is not getting affected. You remember in case of okay, time. Anyone wants to clarify this point? Why is the T of time in each pulse remaining the same, independent of anything what is going on? Why only the on time is getting affected? That is, the discharging time is remaining same, no effect at all. See, where is my pin number? Where is my modulating signal connected? My modulating signal is connected to pin number 5, and this time it is AC. So will the signal affect my pin number 2? Yes. No. Yes, definitely yes. But it will not affect the 1/3 VCC. Will it affect 1/3 VCC? Chalo, tell me. Yes, it will definitely check the 1/3 VCC, but the pin number 2 is intact. Now, pin number 2, there is no change at all. Pin number 2 is not changing. Again, only the level of this 1/3 VCC will change as per the modulating signal, because here we are connecting now a modulating signal which is varying from 4 volt to 2 volt. So accordingly, this levels will change, and that's why my entire capacitor value is charging discharging period is change. The charging phase is changing throughout. Also, the magnitude of the capacitor peak to peak voltage is changing, but not the this thing will change. The discharge time will not change at all. It will remain constant. Okay. Fine. So what will happen? My output pulse position changes, as it is visible very clearly. The output pulse position changes at for the 555 timer in this case, as per the instantaneous value of the modulating signal. So as my modulating signal is reducing in amplitude, my pulse width, the T on the duty cycle is more. As it is reducing, the duty cycle reduces of the output pulse, and as the modulating signal is increasing, my duty cycle changes. The pulse position changes means what? Duty cycle change. So as the duty cycle changes, my frequency will also change. Any doubts in this? Apart from that, why that capacitor, the discharge will be constant? Apart from that, any other doubt? Hello? So that's how these are the
No, sir.
waveforms which. No, sir. Okay, so these are the waveforms which you have to draw when you're given. One basic difference is in LT Spice, here it is assuming that the capacitor is already pre-charged to 5 volts, and here in the discussion we are going from 0. So that's the only difference. Rest all is same. Only thing you remember, whenever the capacitor is charging, the output should remain high, because when the capacitor charges, the comparator, accordingly the output state will become high as per the working over here. Okay. So whenever the capacitor charges and whenever it discharges, basically your this thing will remain the same. What I mean to say, whenever the capacitor discharges, the output will be low. Okay, so that's the only condition we have. Okay, I think that's it for this pulse position modulation. So over here, the conclusion is that the position of the each output pulse changes, and both the period and the duty cycle and the frequency of the output wave is changing. So that's a classical pulse position modulation, has variety of applications. Okay, so that's it for this LICD lecture 33C.